Hey travelers, this is Michelle with My Traveling Owl. If you are here, it is because you are interested in a Holland America cruise tour through Alaska and the Yukon. Or you didn't even know these tours existed until now, and now you are intrigued, and you should be. This is part 7 of our 11-day journey through Alaska and the Yukon, including Denali. In this episode, we showcase 2 tours we did, the Gold Bottom Gold Tour and our bus tour to the Midnight Dome. So here we go.
You can book these excursions along with others at the welcome desk in the hotel or the welcome center in town. This Midnight Dome excursion costs roughly $40 Canadian.
For the tour to the Midnight Dome, you will board a small bus and they will take you through town and then up to the dome.
You do not have to pay for this excursion. You can walk up from the town below, but I'm sure that's a pretty good hike. Here's Keith and I just exploring some trails.
The views up here are truly breathtaking. If you do choose to walk on some of the hiking trails, make sure you're wearing appropriate shoes. The rocks can be a little bit slippery. When you come to Dawson City, make sure you come up to the dome. It's the Midnight Dome and it is worth coming up to. It is beautiful views of all of Dawson City. You need to check it out. Make a reservation at your hotel if you didn't pre-book this.
And if you're on the Holland tour, make sure you try the wings. We really enjoyed the views from the top of the Midnight Dome. On the way back, the bus driver took us past the cemetery from the Gold Rush era. If you are a fan of any of the Gold Rush shows, this tour is a must. This Gold Bottom tour costs about $80 Canadian per person.
We have a second pond have our center road, and then we have the creek. So what happened here, even though I was not here physically, I didn't see when this happened, if I look at the terrain, I can see clearly that that creek was on the other side of the road. mined it, right? Got to bedrock, then brought back the creek where it is sitting right now, and now he's mining the other side. So all the cleaner that you see behind the bulldozer actually comes from a different spot, a different gut. So we have past the settling pond, and I'll show that to you in a second. So the idea...
Air tour guide Brenda from South America did an amazing job.
You change a different bucket, and then you start getting rid of the trees, the moss, push the bedrock across the way, dig and dig and dig until the bedrock. And once that you do, those 2 feet of heather that lay above bedrock, so with a rock truck, you're gonna collect enough heather to at least use for a couple of days. So then you're going to do a cleanup. So that will be the last phase. The cleanup involves separating the gold from the rock completely for success, so then you can sell it. So let's talk about this plan, which is basically everything is important, but I would say that without a plan, you can't really successfully extract gold. Call it Polish jeweler comes to Dawson City, and then he's just like curious about like starting a business. So he randomly meets on the street a miner, and then the miner has a truck and tells him, "Oh, I can take you to the claim number 6. Of course, I can drop you there so you can take a look and whatever." So and it's a miner. He knows what he's doing. So then David is walking around. He's a jeweler. He knows gold, and goes to the claim, and he's like, "Oh, a nugget." He grabs the nugget. Like, so then the miner is like, "A nugget? It's not a nugget. Give it to me." He's a nugget, which is like you don't see a nugget on the surface, on the ground, on a free claim, right? Like it's the last place where you will see a nugget. So then he took that as an omen, and then now he has 2 stores in town. One's called the Rock, one's called the Gold Trail. And like he still has the nugget, so if you walk around you can talk to him. And so he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna open a jewelry store. This is my sign that I'm lucky." And he's been here for 14 years. So sometimes you find the gold what shouldn't be, which is even more rare than finding gold. And sometimes, you don't find out what it should be. It's crazy. And then eventually, there's you could do 2 things. You could make like divert the road so that people do like a C shape. Mine here, or we can mine there, go all the way to bedrock, and then put signs and out like a rock top, and then go back and forth and bring it there. So I'm not sure what David is planned. These are the same mesh, they all come from the same size, but often if I grab something like here, it will still be lighter. See, it still bounces more than the actual flake. Okay? So trust that if it doesn't move, it's gold. And don't confuse something that looks white or sparkly or whatever, unless you make sure that it doesn't move. If it doesn't move, that's your last confirmation. If you're uncertain, you ask me and I'll tell you. So the idea is that we do some gold panning together. You have it.
Our friends here are on holiday from Germany.
A nugget is like, that's the whole reason why it's fun, is because it's nature's art. It's like, it's unique, it's rare, like it's hard to find. No.
We ended up buying this gold nugget for a little under $40 US. We totally enjoyed this excursion. The next time we're in Dawson, we will definitely be doing this again. If you would like to try mining at one of the free claims, you can buy your supplies in town.
With those buckets, dirt that we grab from the back of my house, we bring them here to the last stage. Everything that you see is what we actually use, but nothing is like this. The only thing that is set up for me to you guys is like a sample of this already dry.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't have time to dry. So this is pay dirt, and you see sometimes the gold is, you know, obviously see it. Let's see if I can find a flake. I don't see a flake as obviously. No, don't touch,
Okay.
no.
I think.
Yeah. But the only way to actually know is through gravity. So that's why what it may look like gold, see, like this is gold. That's gold. The other thing that you put, that's pyrite. Right, so that is full gold. That's gold. That's gold. That's gold. See? And I know that that is gold because it won't move. Like, I'm gonna keep bringing water. Check it out. I bring water and it stays there. But the rest is gonna keep coming down, right? So see, all of this is gold. So this is what pay dirt looks like. So what we do is grab a poopy scooper, we connect this pump to the creek so we have running water, and then we just drop it here. So in that way, we trap all of those flakes that you see here. All of that gold, that one is the most obvious, like that's the biggest, like, right, all of that, it gets trapped on this mat. Right? So this mat, once I go through all of my pay dirt, I'm going to once more bring it to another tub, let it dry, and finalize my setup, which is this one. Basically, that's already dry. So what I'm gonna do, and this, by the way, does not have gold. That will be the only difference. And it, like I could have gold, but it's easier for me to show it in a different way. So basically, what I'm gonna do is get rid of everything but the gold. And in this case, I already, like, I'm advancing that is no gold, so that you know that it's just a sample. So how do I do that? I screen it. So I use my smallest screen to medium, big. Remember, the whole concept is to constantly concentrate. And this will be extremely rare to be gold. It's something very tiny, has more potential. So I'm just gonna drop it here. And again, there's no gold, there's not going to be any surprise of any sort. And right away, in a few agitation and motion, I got rid of all these rocks. Now I'm certain reason that this is not gold, because if I saw a nugget, like that rare nugget, I would have seen it before.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just gonna put it here. Normally I will throw it away, but I'll just put it on the side. Smaller rocks. So I have a lot of gravel, I have gold, be imagining for it now, and then I have a lot of iron magnetite. So because it's magnetic, I simply use a magnet and get rid of it. Right? I can easily get rid of all of that. I'm not afraid that I will lose gold, because gold is not magnetic, so I can do this. The same thing happens with the next layer, right? So the only difference is it's just gets finer and finer. Right? You get the point? So I could finish that completely and see how fine the black sand is. So we will find this on our gold pans. But the idea is that if I finish this properly all the way to the end, let's pretend I finished it, I will end up with gravel from this size and gold. So why did I got rid of this? Because this is heavier than gravel. So the equation that we made is gold is 19 times heavier than water. This is 9 times heavier than water, and this is 4 times heavier than water, or the gravel. Okay? So it's easier to separate the gold from the gravel than the gold from the gravel in this. So I got rid of this. I transferred this to a cheese container with gold like this. Right? So this is that. Right? So this is what a cleanup will look for. So what I will do, and again, I put it on a cheese container for me to show it to you. David will use a gold pan. Just jump right next to the gold genie, which is an automated gold pan. So if you come to the front, you'll be able to see what I want to show you. Which is very simple. We are replicating what we were constantly doing with different technology. So before it was a trommel, now it's a gold pan shape with all the same amount of water come in, and then I'm just going to simply drop my sample of gold and gravel there. You can easily see that gold is heavy enough to remain on the crack of the gold pan, and it gives you the illusion that it's going up, but it's just kind of following the shape. And then gravel is light enough to downsing through the motion and the water. So not every miner uses the gold genie for their cleanup. It works really good for us because of the size of our gold, the quantities that we use. It's like very handy because we prevent, or like we mechanize the system, and in a few minutes all of this will be collected on another container, and then that will kind of finalize the cleanup. But then of course we want to bank it, we want to cash this in. So what we do is we melt the gold. It's very easy. You just need an oven. We put it on this base, put all those flakes inside, 2000 Fahrenheit anyway. Okay, melt it. We drop the gold in, cast iron with the gold bar. Then it's when things start getting interesting, because all of those flakes are not pure gold. They're actually 99% pure. So how do I know that this is 99% pure? Because I sample it, and then I tested it, and the person that has the right equipment to do so told me that I have gold and silver. The rest percent will be silver. Do I get paid by the silver? Of course I do. We're going to cash from the percentage. So regardless of the weight of my Dory bar, I know in my head that I'm cashing by the price of gold, based on the purity of gold, silver based on the amount of silver I have on each one of those flakes. And then once that we make that calculation, we pay 2% royalties. And then it goes to an automated transaction, and that kind of finalizes. Not all miners do Dory bars, not all miners go to the same broker. It's just like a different system. Then Alex with this other machine. It's very similar.
Please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment if you have any questions at all. Here are a few pics of what's to come in this series.
For more information and to book your next tour with Holland America or any other line, reach out at mytravelingal.com.